Welcome to the fascinating world of animal diversity. Today, we are going to explore our own biological family tree by diving into the study of primates. Imagine being at a massive family reunion, looking around at your distant cousins, aunts, and uncles. Even though everyone looks a bit different, you can spot shared family traits. In the animal kingdom, primates represent our extended biological family. By studying them, we are essentially looking into a mirror that reflects millions of years of our own evolutionary history. Let us begin this exciting journey. Now that we know we are looking at our own family tree, let us define what primates actually are. In formal biological terms, primates are an order of eutherian, which means placental, mammals. Millions of years ago, our early ancestors evolved specifically for an arboreal, or tree-dwelling, lifestyle. This life in the canopy shaped their bodies and minds in unique ways. Today, this incredibly diverse order includes a wide range of animals, from the tiny, wide-eyed tarsiers and leaping lemurs to monkeys, great apes, and of course, us humans. Understanding this shared origin helps us see why we share so many physical traits with these animals. Building on their tree-dwelling origins, let us look at the specific physical traits that make a primate a primate. To navigate a complex forest canopy, an animal needs excellent grip. Therefore, primates developed prehensile hands and feet, equipped with opposable thumbs. This adaptation allows them to firmly grasp branches and manipulate objects with incredible precision. Furthermore, if you look at a primate's fingers and toes, you will notice they have flat nails instead of the sharp claws seen in many other mammals. These flat nails provide backing to sensitive tactile pads on the fingertips, enhancing their sense of touch and ability to handle delicate items. Beyond their hands, primates have evolved remarkable sensory and cognitive abilities. Living high up in the trees requires excellent depth perception to judge distances accurately when leaping from branch to branch. To achieve this, primates have forward-facing eyes that provide stereoscopic, or three-dimensional vision. But perhaps the most defining characteristic of our order is what lies behind those eyes. Primates possess a significantly enlarged cerebral cortex relative to their body size. This massive expansion of brain tissue is the biological foundation that supports their highly complex social behaviors, advanced problem-solving skills, and, in the case of humans, language and technology. With these unique traits in mind, you might wonder why we dedicate an entire section of biology specifically to this group. First and foremost, understanding primate biology is the absolute key to unlocking the mysteries of human evolution and our own physiological makeup. Because we share so much genetic material with other primates, they are incredibly crucial in biomedical research, helping scientists understand and treat complex human diseases. Additionally, out in their natural habitats, primates act as vital ecosystem engineers. By eating fruits and traveling, they disperse seeds across vast distances, maintaining the health of tropical forests. Without them, many diverse ecosystems would simply collapse. We just discussed how an enlarged brain is a hallmark of primates, but how do we actually measure and compare this objectively across different species? Biologists use a mathematical concept called the encephalization quotient. This quotient helps us understand how much bigger or smaller an animal's brain is compared to what we would expect for a standard mammal of the exact same body weight. The formula is Q equals B sub A divided by B sub E. Here, Q represents the encephalization quotient, which is a dimensionless ratio. The variable b sub a stands for the actual brain mass of the specific animal, measured in grams. The variable b sub e represents the expected brain mass for a generic mammal of the same body size, also in grams. If the actual brain is larger than expected, Q is greater than 1. This formula we just saw leads us to an important question. How do we figure out the expected brain mass, B sub E? Biologists discovered a mathematical scaling law relating body mass to brain mass. It is not a straight line, but a power law, meaning as animals get heavier, their brains do not need to grow proportionally as fast. The formula is B sub E equals 0.12 times m raised to the power of 0.67. Here, B sub E is the expected brain mass in grams. M represents the total body mass of the animal, which must also be in grams. The number 0.12 is a biological constant derived from averaging all mammals. The exponent, 0.67, shows that brain mass scales to roughly the 2/3 power of body mass. Before we move on, let us see this with a concrete, relatable example by calculating the encephalization quotient for an average adult human. We are given that the actual brain mass of a human is 1,350 grams. Based on our body size, the expected brain mass for a generic mammal of our weight is calculated to be 180 grams. We need to find the value of Q. We start with our primary quotient formula. Q equals B sub A divided by B sub E. We substitute 1,350 for the numerator and 180 for the denominator. Dividing these gives us a final answer of 7.5. This physically means a human brain is 7.5 times larger than expected for our body weight. Now that we have calculated the endowment quotient, let us look at a slightly more complex real-world scenario involving a macaque monkey. Suppose we have a macaque with a total body mass of 10,000 grams, and we are given that 10,000 raised to the power of 0.67 is approximately 478. Our first goal is to calculate its expected brain mass. We use the allometric scaling formula, B sub E equals 0.12 times m raised to the power of 0.67. We substitute the body mass of 10,000 into the equation. Using our given approximation, we replace the exponential term with 478. Multiplying 0.12 by 478 gives us a final expected brain mass of 57.36 grams. With the expected brain mass calculated, we can now complete the second part of our strategy to find the macaque's encephalization quotient. We are given that the actual measured brain mass of this monkey is 100 grams. We just calculated the expected brain mass to be 57.36 grams. We bring back our primary quotient formula, Q equals B sub A divided by B sub E. We place the actual brain mass of 100 in the numerator and the expected brain mass of 57.36 in the denominator. Dividing these two numbers gives us a final calculated value of 1.74. This physically means the macaque has a brain nearly 1 3/4 times larger than an average mammal of the same weight, clearly demonstrating the primate characteristic of an enlarged brain. Having calculated the mathematical proof of primate brain expansion, let us visually examine what this looks like in physical anatomy. On screen, you are looking at a comparative diagram of a primate skull on the left and a non-primate mammal skull on the right. Notice the dramatic differences. The primate skull features a significantly enlarged, rounded brain case at the top, which perfectly houses that high encephalization quotient we just calculated. Below that, you can see the large, forward-facing eye sockets that grant primates their stereoscopic, three-dimensional vision. Because primates rely more on vision than smell, their snout is noticeably shortened. In contrast, the non-primate skull on the right has a much smaller brain case, side-facing eyes for monocular vision, and a highly elongated snout for a stronger sense of smell. This visual perfectly summarizes the evolutionary shifts we have discussed. To wrap up our journey into the world of primates, let us review the most important ideas we have covered. First, remember that primates are uniquely adapted for complex arboreal lives, defined by physical traits like grasping hands with opposable thumbs, flat nails, and forward-facing eyes. Second, their most defining feature is an exceptionally large brain, which supports advanced cognitive and social abilities. We learned how to objectively measure this using the encephalization quotient, proving mathematically how primate brains exceed standard mammalian expectations. Finally, mastering these concepts is not just about animal diversity. It gives you a profound understanding of the very roots of human nature. You have done a fantastic job covering this entire topic today.